Hi everyone, welcome back to the craft room. Today's card is going to be made using this Whimsy stamps. This is called Southern Heifer. It's got some great sayings on it. Don't get your knickers in a knot. My goodness gracious, heifer please. Hush honey, who licked the red off your candy? In the south we don't try to hide crazy, we give it a sweet tea on the front porch. And that girl is a few peas short of a casserole, burgers short of a barbecue, pickles short of a barrel, colours short of a rainbow, and pecans short of a fruitcake. So I don't know which one I'm going to use on there, but let's get the cow off of there and we'll come back to that. Or actually we might have to do it now because I'm going to emboss this. Mind you, we can still do it afterwards. Okay. I'm going to emboss her and then cut her out. And then colour her and then get her on a card. That's so I haven't got to make any sort of decisions now about card location or background or anything like that. Because as usual, I've thought about the stamp and that's as much as I've thought about. Now I picked out some black embossing powder. I don't use black very often because it can, if you do get it anywhere other than the image, it shows. But because I'm cutting her out and I would like to show you using black, we're going to go for it. So we're going to do a bit of anti-static. And she's going to be stamped in VersaFine. So let's just heat that up. And then I might cut her out first. So. I've pulled out a few colours. I'll tell you as we go along. We'll start off with the cool greys. 5, 2 and 0 for the majority of her body. So we'll do the usual shading with the darkest one. This part of my face is going to be white. I'm just going to blend that in a little bit, so pull it out a little bit more. And then with the lightest one, blend it out just a little bit more. All right, Babs. R12, R29 and R18. Do that. And we'll do the pink, the red lips. Let's pull a little bit of that grey in, but that's all right. Darkening those nostrils. And we do a yellow bow with white 180, 2 and 1. Do a BR2 for the horns, which I forgot about. And this bit of grassy barley, whatever that is. I will cut the rest of that later. I'll do a yellow bell as well, I think. Make that little clack a bit grey, actually, I think. There we go. And then the darker bits where I've got black 120, cool great 08 and 04. So you can see. And then the hoofs. Okay, we'll just put a little bit highlighting on there. Let me just cut this out and see what that looks like, and then I'll go around it with a black pen. I'm thinking I might put that behind a couple of these, so we could have green behind her, I think. And we might do 3, but 2 little ones, 1 taller one. Oh. I thought I might just do a bit of green behind, like that. Oh, does she look better on black? I always think it looks better on black, always. But nice to have a bit of colour on there, I guess. Yes. And then we can do the sentiment on a bit of green, possibly. And what should we do? Heavens to Betsy. I like that. Heavens to Betsy. I can't decide at the minute. Let's get the card together, and then I'll make a decision either when the card's together or at a later date. So let's see how much sticking down we've got to do with these. She's going to cover most of it, so that little bit at the end. So we'll put a few little dots on here, a few little dots at the top. I do still get asked why I use 2 different glues, but I think I'm getting new viewers all the time. I use 2 different glues because Kalau, although this is in a Beacon 3-in-1 bottle, which also works, but Galal and Beacon 3-in-1 is alcohol based, so it won't warp the card. So when you use it on a big area like this, the card is not going to start crumpling up or warping. So that's why I use it on the big areas. But it does take a while to dry. You can use it on the little areas as well. I don't, because this, which is Belly Arts, but I also use Pinflair bookbinding glue. This has got a finer nozzle, so you can get into little areas. It is a water-based glue, but you can use less of it and it sticks quicker. So although you still have some wiggle room, it does stick quicker, because the problem with the Galal, I find, if you use it on little things, you can easily sort of knock it out of place without noticing, because it's there's a lot of wiggle room on it. Still don't know. So I think I'm going to leave her sentimentalist at the minute, and we'll get something on later, depending on who it gets sent to or who wants it to send it to someone else, and then they can choose. But there's today's card. Took 50 minutes. So embossed image, coloured with alcohol markers, with a Craft Addiction UK slatted rectangles. That's it for this time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Okay, bye.